Like now to help us grow as a channel. And if you stay to the end of the video, comment your favorite color.
Trying to get as much view as possible.
Yeah.
So if anybody Googles the word Tesla,
Or
this might pop
Trump
up.
Tower or
Or
anything.
Trump Tower, this could pop up.
Nephilims or demons.
But I'm wondering, because this guy says that he was actually a part of this and seemed pretty shook up about the alleged war crimes that the United States had done.
Back in my head and says, get down on my knees.
To work in the field that we work in, we have to put all that and feelings to the side.
Die a little quieter, please.
There's too much blood. I mean, like, you might as well just give up.
These secret societies came out of like the old mystery cult.
That'd be great. Sir, you can leave. Fair.
I think that they are prepping for apocalypse.
What's up, everybody? This is Season 2, Episode 5. My name's Colby. And this is...
Caleb.
And this is...
Steven.
And today, we're going to talk about a couple of things, but I just wanted to recap on what we talked about previously. We talked about the New Orleans possible bombing, where the truck ran through a crowd of people, and what might be in connections, what might not be, and just the stuff that we've seen on the news at the time and the conspiracies behind it.
And today we're going to talk about the one in Las Vegas a little more in depth than we did before. But first, we're going to have some ghost.
Ghost. Hey, you want a ghost?
Got any grape?
We got green apple. Oh, yeah, right here.
Sweet.
That's better.
I'm ready.
Me too.
I'm ready.
Me too. Okay. So, the information for today is coming from Sean Ryan's podcast. I'll go ahead and put the full thing up in the top right corner of the screen for you to hit. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can either check it out there. I'm about to do a full rundown, so you can watch my quick little rundown. Also, if you don't want to go watch the full video, make sure you watch the full video after, because Sean Ryan's awesome. And then if you have seen the podcast or don't feel like listening to me ramble and want to hear us discuss, I'm going to have it in the bookmarks to where you can skip to where we're discussing it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the whole rundown. So, sorry, I'm going to hit the mic. So basically, Sean Ryan has his own podcast where he talks with former military and all, and he had a guy named Sam Shoemate who was former Army, and I believe he still does some stuff with the military. I'm not too sure. So Sean Ryan previously had a podcast with a CIA targeter. It was before the new year, and she warned him about how there would be a rise in terrorism in 2025, and he was trying to get that to news outlets to spread the word, but nobody would pick it up. He's pretty upset that all that happened on New Year's after he had a CIA targeter on his podcast. Yeah,
I saw that podcast and I was like, this would be weird if this happened. And everybody's going to call us crazy. And then guess what? It happened.
So this guy, Sam Shoemate, I don't know if I said Shoemaker. I keep wanting to say Shoemaker. Sam Witwicky. Sam Shoemate had a comment on his Instagram, which said like, "Hey, check your DMs." And then he went and checked, and he did have a DM on Instagram from the guy that actually did the in Las Vegas. He had messaged him. The Instagram message also said, "I'm going to message you on like text messages or something like that."
They had this app. I don't remember what it was called, but he reached out to him on the app, and I'm sure you'll get into it, but after he passed away, I'm
going to get into that.
Yeah.
So it started in comments, went to DM, and then it went to another messaging app. He did it on Wi-Fi with a VPN and a signal safety number, which is what you were talking about.
And the FBI has already confirmed that it was him.
Yeah. So, so later on, he had gotten a manifesto and said that he wanted in contact with Fox, some other podcasts like Sean Ryan, and the head of Homeland Defense. He said that he knew the feds would come after him, so he wanted this to be talked about and spread before the new year, because he was trying to head to the border to Mexico, and that the feds were coming after him, but they wouldn't do anything to him because he had a VBID, which is basically a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device. But what he talked about in his manifesto was that China and the United States both have what's called a gravitic propulsion system, which they did look up and saw that it was basically only in science fiction. They've never seen of it anywhere else. But essentially, the drones that China had in U.S. airspace just hover. They don't need anything. They use gravitic propulsion system. And that the USA had also used it in strikes in Afghan in 2019, allegedly. And allegedly, the United States had done some quote-unquote war crimes, and he participated in this, so he allegedly knows that it happened, quote-unquote. We're not entirely sure if this is 100% accurate, so we're not saying that it is. This is just what was in his manifesto. So he was pretty upset about that. Later on, the Sam Shoemate, he had kind of waved it off as, this guy's a little cuckoo. Stopped talking to him. And he even made a post on his X account saying, like, I get crazy stuff like this all the time. The next day, some people in his group from, I'm assuming the Army, say, hey, have you heard this guy's name before? Because he just did a in Las Vegas. And Sam looks and he's like, that's the same guy's name that had been messaging me about this manifesto. So he used a Tesla, which allegedly from, what's his name that does the Tesla? I can't think right now.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Elon Musk has been bragging about Teslas being bulletproof. And,
Not bomb-proof.
yeah. And he used fireworks for his explosives instead of actually something that would be able to level the building, which he knows how to do those sort of things due to his history. But instead of using like actual explosives that would level the building, he just used fireworks.
And gasoline. They did say in the video, the police said that because the Tesla's frame held up, that the blast went upward and not outward. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's what they were saying.
We'll discuss it in just a second. The body on the inside does not match the DNA of the son. And they said that he, quote unquote, allegedly shot himself with a Desert Eagle, but there was no signature from the Desert Eagle whenever he rolled up or whenever he was there. And also Teslas are known for their self-drive. So what Sam and Sean Ryan predict is that essentially he had another body in the truck that wasn't his, self-drive to the place and blow up to cause attention, but not enough to actually cause any real damage, so that he could get people's attention so that they would listen to the manifesto about the gravitic propulsion system from China, from the United States, and that he's actually still alive somewhere and potentially made it to Mexico. And also after that, what Colby was talking about was that his signal safety number changed, but it can't be done unless you're in the signal account. So they predict that, of course, it could have been, the FBI doing something with his thing, or maybe he actually messed up after he, quote unquote, died in the explosion. And he messed up and changed it. And he, in fact, is still alive.
Or it could be there's someone else out there that's a part of their small group.
Yeah.
That has access to it. But what I was going to say is, what part did you say in there? It was about the vehicle, a self vehicle going to Mexico. The FBI won't mess with him because he has a
VBID.
A VBID? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So I saw the same podcast, well, not the same podcast, but a different one. And they were talking to this military guy, and he's like, I have been informing the FBI on all of this, and I told him that I had to explain to them what a VBID was because they didn't even know what a VBID was.
Yeah, it was the same
surname.
podcast.
It was the same podcast.
Yeah.
So
And he was like, I'm surprised, being the FBI, how did they not know what a VBID was?
Yeah, which honestly, until I've seen that, I've never heard of it. I've just
but you're
learned,
not the FBI.
yeah, but we learned in all the first responder stuff that basically, if you take bomb and add it to what you put the bomb in, then that's what it's called. So like if you make a bomb and you put it in a pipe, it's a pipe bomb. If you make a bomb and you put it in a car, it's a car bomb. That's what I've always heard, is what we learn. And I've also heard of an IED from the military, improvised explosive device. But I've never heard of a VBID, which is essentially just the same thing, but vehicle borne. So, I mean, that's a good bit of
So
information.
I have heard of it, but only because my father-in-law was in the military for 30 years. And I've heard him say it a few times, and I got cousins and all these people that will go over and talk to him about different things, and
I want to get him on here, by the way.
he swears entirely too much.
That's okay. We'll just cut it all out.
It would be nothing but no audio. You could see him sit here ranting, no audio.
I'm going to invite my pastor, and then he's just going to go back and watch our videos and just see that. And he'll be like, I don't know if I want to associate with these guys.
So let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it.
So I do kind of apologize. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but I did 100% believe on this last podcast, the emergency podcast that we uploaded. By the way, we want to start uploading on Wednesdays, but this week's kind of weird because of the event that had happened. But I did say that he was totally well, not 100%, but I believed, allegedly, that he was related to the New Orleans guy because there was too much coincidence there, them getting the vehicles from the same place, them being from the same, but, I don't know anymore. As far as the Las Vegas thing, it happened New Year's to get attention, and they're wondering why he went to Trump Tower with the Tesla. Obviously, I already said that they didn't think that it would do that much damage, so they believe that he wouldn't be doing that much damage. But as far as the symbolism,
I know why.
It could be the meaning behind like Tesla is Elon Musk and Trump Tower is Trump, and
He's trying to get as much view as possible.
yeah,
So if anybody Googles the word Tesla,
or
this might pop
Trump
up.
Tower,
or Trump Tower. This could pop up.
it could also.
that's actually pretty good.
I mean, that could probably be 100% it, but it could also be, you said he was talking about in this manifesto how the U.S. government and other agencies were doing this, and he was a part of it. What if he was trying to do something on the premises, I guess, of Trump Tower? Trump's going to be the new president. Elon Musk is going to be over our financial and maybe something else. I didn't do deep into that. And he's over Tesla. So Tesla truck, Elon Musk, Trump Tower, Trump. I mean, it's probably not it. It's probably what you said it was because their names get looked up a lot.
The reason I think the way I was thinking about it is because of Disney. Supposedly he froze himself, cryogenically froze himself for later on. He could be thawed out and brought back to life. But they made the movie Frozen to where when you look up Walt Disney Frozen, you don't see anything about him cryogenically freezing himself.
Yeah.
It pulls up the movie.
Yeah.
So maybe he was trying to play off of that, where you pull up Tesla. Oh, here's this guy who used a Tesla truck to bomb the Trump Tower.
Yeah.
Or if you pull up Trump Tower or anything.
That's pretty
This is
smart.
what you got.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is because he was in the military, and I mean,
At face value, they were even saying in the podcast, you think this guy's pretty cuckoo, but like he actually knew what he was doing, especially like with the Wi-Fi and the VPN, trying to hide himself, and then he went on like 3 different things to make sure that he was secure, and I have no doubt that that's probably what it was. But also, I did hear that his wife, I believe, had some post on Facebook talking negative about Trump. So there was like maybe he was trying to say something about Trump, but I don't know. I feel like I like your theory more.
But also, if the body in the Tesla truck wasn't his, and was already somebody that was already dead. He'd had to get them there somewhere. It drives itself.
Yeah.
And
I'm wondering who the body was.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Who's the body?
But they think that it was him, and that he just wasn't the. I'm sorry to y'all watching this. This was in my way.
Maybe it was one of the FBI people that came after him.
Well, they think that the son just wasn't his, and that was one of his tipping points that made him go cuckoo and do this.
That's a possibility, but
Yeah.
So here's a question or a theory or statement, whatever, all of the above.
Allegedly.
What if that body was not him, and they want you to think it was him, so that everybody who's afraid of everything that's going on, they say, oh, well, he was in the truck, that body was him, or maybe either the government wanted it, or maybe it was him wanting to escape and have that as like faking his own death. Or what if, it's around election year, this is all planned to happen. They're planning for him to do this. They're planning for us to be reacting the way we react, or in a different way, trying to segregate us or bring it, or and anything of that nature. And it's just all part of the powers at be's plan, I guess. And he's just the scapegoat. Like a bunch of other people in the past few years have been an scapegoat, or the patsies from the previous assassinations and everything like that. Where they
Allegedly.
Allegedly. JFK got assassinated by the CIA, allegedly.
Which they're talking about, or RFK is talking about releasing all that and exposing everybody. And and this video could have been like video shopped or whatever, CGI, I don't know. But I've seen this video, like the famous video of JFK being assassinated. It was the same video, just zoomed out a little more. And it actually shows the driver during the time of his assassination. And the driver's doing this. And he pulls back with his gun and goes, and then drives off. And that explains why JFK's wife was trying to climb out the back of the car, in which they believe that the sniper's trajectory, the bullet, came from like what behind him. And if
grassy knoll,
it had different.
If that was
theories.
a situation, then why would his wife? If that was a situation, wherever it was, why was his wife trying to climb out of the car?
Well, their excuse was she was trying to catch his brain, or at least that's what I've always heard from the older generation.
What are they going to put it back in his head?
I don't know. It never made sense to me, but I've watched the
if
History
you were in
Channel.
a convertible, let's sit next to somebody, and they just got shot and killed.
I would get down on the floorboard.
Because there wasn't enough room back there. Or there might have been, but there's also blood and a dead body.
Yeah, but you're going to jump out the car and not have any cover at all?
Well, I don't want to be in the car.
I don't want to be
Because
outside the
obviously
car.
they're shooting the ones in the car.
She
What do
could
you
have jumped
guys
out the
think?
side, or not go try jumping down the back. But I've watched shows on the History Channel about it, and nobody could really give like proof that it was the driver, but everybody was saying from the angle of the bullet and the type of bullet and the force behind it and everything and what position it hit on the head, that there was no way it was a sniper. It had to be somebody up closer. So they're trying to figure out, was it somebody in the crowd? Was it the people in the car? And everybody just assumed it's the CIA because at that time they didn't want him as president. And they believed that the vice president was the one who set it up. And that's just the conspiracy for all this time. But
Well, I heard that allegedly he was on his way to expose something. He was about to expose something, and they really didn't want him to. And the same thing happened with Paul Walker. Allegedly, I heard that he got assassinated because he was about to expose Epstein's Island.
a lot of people that are about to expose things end up dead. Have
you seen that video with P. Diddy and
I don't watch his videos.
no, it's it's a talk show thing. He's sitting next to Justin Bieber,
Oh, yeah.
and Justin Bieber says something about the Lamborghini he was supposed to be given.
And he got upset, and he
He got
was
upset.
like,
He goes, "You don't talk about stuff that goes on in my house or something."
and Justin Bieber was like,
Yeah.
acting like he just got in trouble
Yeah.
by his...
Because he pretty much did.
We're getting off topic.
Yeah. So I want to get back to the gravitic propulsion system. Like I said, they were talking about how that sounded science fiction-y, and that's whenever they Googled it, that's the only thing they could find was science fiction. They couldn't find anything related to actual science
it
or
could
any
be
modern day
classified.
warfare.
But supposedly
the
the military's stuff, everything they have, computers, vehicles, guns, everything is like 20 years more advanced than anything we have.
Yeah, the stuff we have now, they were using 20 years ago.
Yeah, but what I think the point that the guy who did the bombing was trying to make was that this is the beginning of the end, because he said that those things have no payload something limit. Basically, he said, quote unquote, that they could just hover over the White House and just go to town. So that they're like stupid fast. Speaking of stupid fast, I'm gonna jump off on something real quick. Have you seen those new missiles that Putin has been doing?
No, I haven't.
They fly like several times faster than any of our fastest jets, and they're equipping them with like nuclear warheads now, or whatever the most up to date nukes is.
Well,
But I've seen videos of him using it in the Ukraine, not with the nukes, but just to the missiles themselves. And like usually because they're coming from such a high altitude and you're seeing it from so far away, stuff looks like it's moving a lot slower than it actually is. Well, this looked like it was moving fast. And like so it went shoo, and then the explosion was like in slow motion, but that was actually how like the video was at normal speed. It was just shoo, like how fast things are moving.
Pool all our money together and build an underground tunnel to a bunker from one of Colby's houses to the other.
If y'all don't know, Colby's he's like a millionaire or something.
I am not a millionaire. I have no money.
This man just you bought 2 houses.
Okay.
You have no money because you're paying for 2 houses right now.
Well, I don't trust the obviously the system, so I don't trust the stock market.
The
That being
housing
said,
market is part of the stock market.
not like a 401k is. Property, okay. So money is paper. Everything is value based off of whatever. Property is going to have more value than anything in the future,
Not when we nuke it.
rather than paper. Well, I don't think I'm going to be here after it gets nuked. So.
That's why we need to build the underground tunnels.
You can't build an underground tunnel in Louisiana.
You
We're
can.
below the sea level.
You can. It's called a sump pump.
that sounds
just
like
use,
a
like-
bad movie.
We'll use not negative, but like positive pressure to push everything away. So the pressure levels in there will be different, but it's keeping everything out of the.
We use a sump pump.
Okay.
It works.
So the drones, is it anything like the ones that are coming out of the water in, is it New Jersey? Or am I getting the name wrong again?
Yeah, so they were saying that these, or not they, the bomber was saying that these drones have been coming out of Chinese subs in I want to say it was in the Pacific for like years now. And that they've been in U.S. airspace spying on us using the gravitic propulsion system
You
for
know
a
what else
while.
I've heard of coming out of the ocean? Aliens. And their technology is way more advanced than ours.
No, we got to wait on Eric to talk about that one.
So
God, I'm going to get Eric back.
I watched a video talking about how it was a conspiracy video, but I'm going to try and keep it as realistic as possible, which is almost impossible because everything is a conspiracy at this point. But that they had the technology like 30, 40 years ago to make airplanes or drones have these, not holograph, but they can project so I guess a holograph, but they can project an image of something else that's as what I'm starting to stutter on my words.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Far from
Anyway,
home.
they could project an image and kind of like Spider-Man from and it makes it look like they're spaceships, but in reality it's a plane or a drone. And people think that it's just weird spaceship because of what image it's projecting around it to make you believe it's something that it's not. And although it could be aliens coming out of the ocean, it could just be somebody else who has that technology.
Maybe not even aliens, Atlanteans. Their city wasn't destroyed. They just got tired of all the stupidity of the rest of the world and just decided to take the Egyptians and Mayans and just go deep in the ocean.
I think all that's demons.
Yeah, I agree. Or Nephilims. Nephilims or demons.
But I'm wondering, because this guy says that he was actually a part of this and seemed pretty shook up about the alleged war crimes that the United States had done in Afghan in 2019, and says that he was actually part of like coordinating all that or something like that.
It's not a war crime the first time.
Oh, evidently there's like
You're supposed to go by rules of war, and if you break those rules, it's a war crime.
It's not a war crime the first time. If there wasn't a rule or a law,
it's not a war crime whenever they sweep it under the rug.
There was already a war crime against what allegedly happened, because allegedly these drones were used on civilians, and that has already become a war crime.
Not these new advanced drones.
They have to make like a bunch of sub thingies for each type of weapon.
That's right.
So every time they come up with a new weapon, it's like, oh, you got to make a new
like when they
subcategory.
pass new laws, it's like, oh, we're doing a new law to increase the taxes on tobacco. Why is it 400 pages long? Oh, because we added all this other stuff in there. That's why. It's like, but that's not what we're voting on. Yeah, you're voting on that too. But it's about tobacco.
Who keeps all this stuff? Who's in charge of NATO? Who keeps the books?
I'm sure
a lot of people, I'm sure.
Blue helmets. What are they called? United Nations. Is that what it is?
Air Force?
Huh?
UN?
There was a movie I watched in high school where the United Nations was in it, and the soldiers had blue helmets. It was an old movie. It was based off a true story. I don't remember anything about it other than that.
But like, I feel like, so I'm gonna go back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey for a second. They had the Cult of Cosmos, and basically the person, I think it was like the Ghost of Cosmos or something, whoever was in charge of the secret society, was in charge of basically everything, the PTB of that time, and they were in charge of Sparta and Athens, so they were in control of the war going on between the two sides. I'm wondering if the PTB isn't also in charge of NATO.
Well, that's what happened in World War II. Was it World War II? When were the banks, like the international banks, invented? Was it World War II or is it before? I could be totally off my rockers with this history at the time point, but there was an organization that created the international banking system and the IRS and everything else, and they made money selling weapons to both sides, and because of that, they were wealthy, and they're the ones that want war because they make money off war.
Oh, sorry, I thought I heard.
It's
I'll be hearing noises out there. Yeah, we're in a shed.
Truck start?
Yeah,
Me too. Sound like Elvis truck.
yeah.
Well, my keys are in the truck, so
It was your truck. It's fine. It's
The
not
truck
paid for anyway.
disappears. No, it was actually one of those gravitic propulsion drones.
So if one of us disappears or suicides ourselves, it wasn't us.
it wasn't me.
Yeah, allegedly. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this because I mean, why not? I forgot his name. I will
Allegedly.
Put his, allegedly. I will put his YouTube channel on here. He talks about
His name could be John for this episode.
Yeah, John. John talks about how to make money and be successful and all this. But I saw this one thing talking about podcasts because we're constantly trying to improve our experience for you. And he said that, what were we talking about? Sorry, I'm ADHD or ADD or one of them.
Talking
ADs.
about John and what he says about podcasts.
Yeah, but right before that.
We're talking about drones, hearing noises from my truck.
Allegedly. So John on his video was talking about
Allegedly.
Allegedly was the key word.
Well, he was talking about how like he showed a graph of the most viewed podcast, and I think the first one was like true crime or something. But I think second was politics, and he was like, you got to be real careful getting into politics, and you have to have good communication, because if not, then you can get your video canceled by YouTube or Instagram or X or whatever you're posting. Well, not really X, but YouTube or Instagram or whatever you're posting it on.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So he's saying to use words like allegedly. And he said some other words, but I just thought allegedly was funny. That's why I said it so many times, this podcast, because I don't want y'all to think that this information we're giving out is true information. It could be false. It's all
this is stuff we have heard secondhand.
We've heard secondhand.
This is stuff we've read from people who have heard.
So I've been saying allegedly a lot.
Yeah, like we're not an information outlet. We are just discussing from things that we've read and heard.
We're the third party.
And to think about it, it's really also entertaining. So we're also entertaining ourselves talking about it. It's like sitting around a campfire just talking,
Except it's cold. It's real cold.
It's cold around a campfire too.
It's not that cold in there. But if you guys have any comments about any of this that we've talked about today, or have your own opinions, or know any secrets about this, leave a comment or send us a video, send us a message, and
we'll put it at the end of our video.
Or we could just talk about it if you want to remain anonymous.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that too.
Fantastic.
Also, watch our shorts, because I'm making a lot of shorts out of all of the videos that we do. And
if you have a short video that you want to add to our videos, we can add it too.
Yes, it will be put at the end of all of our podcasts. If you send any short videos of you saying hi or talking about your conspiracy theories, all our socials are in the description. You can send it in. You'll be on our podcast. And
I just want to say how grateful I am to be doing this with y'all. And I would really like if you, just for me, if you could just go like our video, maybe subscribe if you really, really like it. Hit the bell if you want more notifications. And don't forget about the comments, Also, if you saw the beginning of this video and you made it this far, what is your favorite color? Mine is purple.
Mine is also purple, if you couldn't tell.
Mine's orange.
Get out of here. I thought we all agreed that our favorite color was purple.
We had this agreement before coming here today.
I like the color purple.
Talking on this video.
My favorite color
We're all
is
supposed
orange.
to like purple.
I'm convinced.
We all know this is scripted. No, I'm kidding.
Colby, did you know that his favorite color was orange?
Now you do.
Is the reason that you're wearing that sweatshirt because you knew his favorite color was orange and y'all were secretly best friends behind my back?
Touch me there.
Don't tell him.
Allegedly, they're getting ice cream without me.
How do you know about the ice cream?
It's frozen yogurt. Get it right, guys.
I knew there was some reason.
It's better for our weight. It's healthier.
I knew there was some reason
We tried.
that you were making sure that he was breathing through his nose. You care about him.
Well,
And you have to remind him all the time that he's breathing through his nose because you care about him more than you care about me.
yeah.
He cares about me more than he cares about himself.
That's okay. My new best friend is Jackson.
Who's Jackson? I'll find him. Don't worry.
He's
He
coming
asked
for
for
you.
your Snapchat too.
Got any grape?